Yo, it's the coolest man in the land, supposed to land. It's the coolest man in the land, supposed to San Django Joe. Come back one time for your mind, man. Welcome to Monster Island, you feel me? Like I said, Godzilla my spirit animal, and this is a place where I come to go and kick it and chill and keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real and speak it how I feel, you know what I'm saying? This is the vibe. This is the place you go to if you've been through some things, if you're stressed out, if you're wondering ways that are healthy that can help you in helping yourself deal with the issues that you got, man. Welcome to Monster Island, aka the Django Joe Show. Make sure you check out the merchandise, looking oh so nice at 4hfvibes.org. You heard me? And from here, make sure you get Super SANE 1 because it's out. You feel me? And look, man, feel at home here. This is my home. You feel me? Monster Island. Yeah, man. But yo, today's gonna be a good day. This is gonna be a special episode like every other one is. And from here, as I always say, if somebody got a problem with you, hey man, don't do nothing stupid for real. Just understand that means they have a problem with themselves. You feel me? Because if they were cool, they all got a problem with somebody. We all grown. So with that being said, know what I'm saying, make sure you don't hit them with the gun for real. Pull out the positivity gun, know what I'm saying? Click, clack, bring that back. You heard me? Run. Yo, it's coolest man in the land, supposed to San Django Joe. Come back one time for your mind, man. Like I said, it's a special episode. I'm gonna get my angles right one day, I swear. But y'all know what I'm saying? Welcome to Monster Island. And if you're looking for the books and the merchandise looking oh so nice, make sure you go to 4hfvibes.org. You hear me? And from there, you know, on that crawl on, man, it'd be all kind of stuff out here. But this is what I'm saying by this is the point of this channel. The point of this channel is to help others find healthy habits to deal with stress, anxiety, things that bother y'all. You know what I'm saying? For me, I am a nature boy. You feel me? You get me by the water, get me by the beach. You know what I mean? I'm A-okay, you feel me? And that's one of the best things about life. You have time to sit here and figure out what works for you. And what works for me is, you know, being out in the open, man. Being out in the open. Like when I was, how I found this place, I was just down riding one day. You know what I mean? Just like, it was just so much going on at the period of my life. And I told myself, I'm like, bruh, I just need a break. When you ain't got no money like that, know what I'm saying? You can't afford a vacation. Ain't like I could just go up and go fly to Japan or something like that, know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, I live in Florida. I live by the beach. Why don't I go to one of the, pretty much, why don't I go to where it's a resource, you know what I'm saying? The beach is a resource for your mental health. Why not, you know what I'm saying? Why not go to the beach? So I just took a ride, bro. Took a ride down there one day and I just drove. You feel me? I just drove, man. Next thing you know, it went from Jacksonville to Vidra to St. Augustine to, you know what I'm saying, Tona to, you know, and I'm just going. You feel me? But I found Monster Island. And when I found Monster Island, you know what I'm saying, the reason I call it that again is, you know, I ain't too cool, bro. I am not too cool. I am a Godzilla fan, you feel me? That's my spirit animal. And this just reminds me of the Monster Island I saw in the movie. So I'm like, hell, it's Monster Island, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the big G Rhino. You heard me? But it's just like when you have stress, and yeah, I apologize for the shaky camera, but if you have stress, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you always go to drinking every time you stressed out. I know a lot of y'all like that. I know a lot of people that can't drive unless they drink because they have the anxiety that bad. And even though it's illegal, they put themselves at a risk. But just like being on the road, and then a lot of those people are the ones that have been in like really bad car accidents. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Was I like that? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, I understand that. You know what I mean? Is it against the law? Yeah, but at the same time, you know what I mean? People got things to do. You got to do what you do. I know people that, you know, like how I could be outside right now. They've got to be in their house. Like, do you understand like what kind of a hell that is already? Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people are so afraid, like like on Hey Arnold, you know what I'm saying? Stoop kid afraid to leave a stoop type deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, damn, bro, like, can you imagine that? You know what I mean? Like, there's the world lacks empathy right now. You know what I mean? The world is in a state of everybody's feeling some kind of way and nobody knows how to verbalize it. There's so much anxiety going on everywhere and it's stress, and it's just like for people like me, for vets like me, you know what I'm saying? We didn't sign up and do this thank you for your service kind of deal just to get a thank you for your service kind of deal and that's it, man. Like, some people out here have stress, they have problems, they have issues, they have things they worry about. Some people are alone. Some people feel like, you know what I mean, they may have joined and now they're out, and it's just like, damn. This is life, you know what I'm saying? I can accept it. I love it, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't, and I'm here for the people that don't, you feel me? That's why I said it's like, you know, these are my work uniforms, man. I ain't out here trying to portray or be something I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm institutionalized to help people. I guess that's the easiest way to put it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a peaceful guy. And it's just like when you understand that you're a peaceful person, some people are internally disturbed permanently. You feel me? And it's just like when you're dealing with them, you see how much they hate it. And then I get around those kind of people and they just relax. Like that's the first time they've been able to relax, and like you could tell it's been a long while, and it just feels good to help people feel good. You feel me? It also feels good to hurt people, and I choose not to hurt people because what's the point of it? Because what you put out is what you get back. You feel me? So if you're constantly, I'm talking about like constantly putting yourself in situations to hurt others and do negative stuff, it's gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like it's going to come back. And I'll tell you from a guy that's almost died a bunch of times, God preps you for whatever, and this is not talking about religion or politics, this is just my views on certain things. Again, you know what I'm saying? God preps you for whatever you're about to go through in the afterlife. You feel me? If you feel like you're going through hell right now, imagine being gone. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feel like you're in a good place right now, imagine being gone. It's the same time as 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like times 1,000. Like the best way I could describe it is like in Deadpool 2, where everything just stopped and you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It's like that, man, and it's real. You feel me? And it's just like, when you sit back and you look at life, what is your story gonna be? You know, I guess that's the easiest way I could say it. Like, what is your story gonna be? Who, and are you gonna be the one to tell your story? You're gonna let somebody else tell it from their point of view? You feel me? I do not believe third-party companies, any kind of audio, or not audio, but any kind of biographical movie that doesn't have everybody actually in there, I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it at all. But it's just like, you know, when it comes to my story, that's why I'm saying that is, I'd rather you heard it from me. I'd rather you hear it from me. I'd rather you see it from my point of view of, this is what I do to relax. This is, you know what I'm saying, from a guy that has a tough time being around people, in a sense of, if I just like in a big crowd, like a club kind of setting, a bar kind of setting, nah. But at a beach, I could be around people all day and be cool because I'm out in the open, you feel me? I don't feel constrained. And I think a lot of people can't verbalize that they feel constrained around people, and it's just causing them anxiety. You get what I'm saying? And in my business, it's just helping, again, people find healthy habits. Man, one of the best things you could do is go outside. There is nothing wrong with going outside. There's nothing wrong with just being in nature, you feel me? Like, I love this shit, you feel me? And I'll take the hit on the curse, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. But it's just like, you know, when you get like monetized, y'all think YouTube be paying. I ain't, bro. Look, when I tell you I'm doing this from, I wouldn't say the bottom of my heart, but I'm doing this because it's like I've seen some veterans and I've seen how tough life is for them. And it's just like they can't voice it. I can voice it. I'd rather be that voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think YouTube hitting, bro? I ain't made over $10 on this yet. That's how real it is, you feel me? And you see a lot of people upload because the YouTube market's oversaturated right now. Like everybody's doing YouTube. So it's just like they'll put ads on your stuff and not pay you for it, this, that, and the third, and then you'll have your own ads and they'll be paying you pennies. But it's just, you know what I'm saying, as long as I can get this message out to people that need to hear it, I don't care. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because it's cool to help people feel cool, bro. You'd be surprised how people remember how much you looked out for them, especially when you know what I'm saying, when you ain't around them no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when they had time to sit back and reflect on it, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said I don't have a problem with a person, bro. And the reason I don't have a problem with a person, because I don't expect or need or accept somebody having a problem with me. We're grown now, you feel me? And if I'm blessed enough to be able to sit here and tell y'all the same thing, bro, like, live it, dog, we grown. You know what I'm saying? You made it this far. I know a lot of people working hard jobs. Like I said, I wake up in the morning, I see the trash people out there. You heard me? Like, bruh, like a lot of these, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys ain't getting, you know, appreciated. I respect the fact that you're doing something legal out here trying to feed your family correctly, you know what I'm saying? They need that. Hard. You feel me? Like, people talk about, you know what I'm saying, these promiscuous women. I don't have a problem with actually I do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, as long as it's not like I'll put it like this, like sex workers exist. We could say sex workers exist, you know what I'm saying? It's a fact, you know what I'm saying? But if you actually look at the stories behind some of these sex workers, the majority of the men don't even sit there and look for, you know, the physical act. They just need somebody to sit there and lay next to them and tell them something good about themselves. So that doesn't tell you anything about, you know what I'm saying, the way society is going. That's a big red flag right there. Like, people need to make sure that they're respecting others when they come to their vicinity. What's cracking? And it's just like, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how you talk. Like, everybody is going through a struggle that they can't say out loud. And it's just like, when you consider that, then you also understand that in order for you to want to be respected, you have to respect other people. Because again, like, everybody has their own storm. Everybody can ride their own wave. But it's just like, when you're interacting with somebody else, like I said, one of the big things with me is because I'm a veteran. You know how many children of veterans that hate veterans? Because the veteran can't verbalize to their child that, mommy and daddy, that they're a mom that has a son, and the son low-key don't like the mom because she's like not a veteran, but she's just like, the way that she verbalizes things is like in military speech, and she can't get back to, speaking regular, and that's just how she is. But the son don't get it, so he feels like he's constantly being like berated, when in reality she's just boosting him up. She's trying to toughen them up, And the kids grow up to hate the parents, okay. And then to go off of that, you can imagine what it's like for me when I go into a building and I give them my, my vet ID, and the first thing they do is look at it, and then they just, because they had so much hate towards their parent that they sit there and take it out on everybody else. Like, that makes sense. You get what I mean? That's like a person that cheats on another person because they were cheated on. And now they just, it doesn't make sense, So you think a lot of us veterans deal with good customer service because we're veterans? That's a lie. That is a lie. That's a blatant lie, bro. Like, I've been in many a situations because I say I'm a veteran, though. You just see it on their faces. They just look at me like, then I pull out my ID and everybody's attitude changes, but then I still get poor customer service. And it's just like, that's why I don't go to a lot of places. Like, if you, again, like I said this in previous videos, if you see me frequent at a spot, it's because that spot gives me good customer service. And I think more employers need to understand that their employees need to be at a level of, professionalism to deal with people like me, because I can control my temper. I don't let my temper control me. I can control my emotions. I don't let my emotions control me. I can have bad thoughts, and those bad thoughts are just thoughts. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, when I'm dealing with people, because I've took the time to study myself, to study how I operate, to study, my, just to study my aura, man, my spirit, my soul, like, to figure out who I really am, And I did that over time, and it took years, but I did that, you feel me? When you're dealing with people that aren't like me, for the veterans who, it's hard enough to go outside, it's hard enough to drive to a place, and then I have to get crappy service on top of that just because I serve my country. Like, come on now, some people really think like that, So it's just like, when you're dealing with the anti-me, the veteran who's just so stressed out, he might pop off. He might be the one that's cussing, or he might be overly aggressive, and it's just, while everybody may look at him as, oh my God, he's gonna snap. It's just like, no, he was probably getting disrespected in his mind the entire time. Some people act like being at a job, some people really act like you're privileged to come in here and spend your money. Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? If I'm the one paying your salary with my funds, then you should be acting like I'm the one paying your salary with my funds. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times people really just don't know good customer service, and a lot of people in customer service don't like customers. Let's be real, bro. Every time we, and on top of me being, not to put race in hell, but I'm black. I'm sexually chocolate, I'm sexually chocolate. I'm sexual chocolate, I'm a good looking Hershey, And it's just put that, okay, that's automatic with some people, because of what they've dealt with people that are my skin tone. That's an automatic. Okay, then put in the 2. You heard me? On top of me being black, I'm a male. A lot of people don't like black males, and they just don't want to say it. And it's okay. It's okay. I ain't gonna take offense to it. I'd rather somebody say they don't like me openly, so I know when we come into contact with each other, hey bro, I'm gonna sit right here, you gonna sit over there. You don't like me, fine, sit sit over there and go pout about it, but I'm gonna enjoy myself because I'm not obligated to nobody, and that'd be cool with me, as opposed to somebody smiling in my face saying this, that, and the third, and low-key they're just in their head talking ridiculous, ridiculously reckless, because that's snake behavior. I don't do snakes, I don't, you feel me? But it's just when you're dealing with people that don't like you based off of experiences that they've had with other people that look, walk, talk, act, or have your type of accolades, bruh, in my opinion, everything should be a case-by-case basis with everybody in every situation, because it could be one thing that sets a person apart that could just change so many perspectives. Like I said, the reason I wear gold teeth, bro, my teeth grind. And people be like, back in the days, it's because them jigger things. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, when you have to keep your mouth closed because you got people depending on you, and that paycheck, you know what I'm saying, is the only thing that's keeping you afloat, and you refuse to do illegal activities because you don't want to fall into a stereotype, dog, you're going to grind your teeth. You feel me? And I smoke. The reason I smoke is because, like I said, I'm dealing with my anxiety every episode I make. Every episode I make, bro, you know how long it took me to be able to be around to get to even have people walk by me? That's what hypervigilance is. Like, y'all need to start looking these terms up. And if you want to know another thing, like, if you were to compare it to a comic book character, how Spider-Man has spider sense, that's hypervigilance. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much, I'm very self-aware. So if you come around me, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to feel your energy, and I'm going to reflect that back. So whatever you project, I'm going to reflect. You get what I'm saying? So if you're aggressive, I'm going to be aggressive. Or I was, because right now, the way I think supremely sane is that even if you're aggressive and you're projecting aggression towards me, bro, I don't have time to think negative. It's hard enough waking up in the morning some days. I don't have time, bro. I don't have time, ma'am. I don't have time for that. And I know a lot of other veterans that feel the same way. That's why they're so short. And, you know, when it comes to veterans, you know, yes, military, but you got some real deal street cats, in my opinion, who are veterans. They call them OGs, you know what I'm saying? That's the other term for it, you know what I'm saying? OGs, a vet, somebody that's been out here before. I know plenty of cats that done been robbed, that done been shot at, that done been, you know what I'm saying, in some real street situations to where they have to ride with 10 on their windows because if they can't be seen by people. And it's just like, you know, imagine the hell they're going through. Imagine you trying to get your life together after you done been through, you know what I'm saying, the struggles of the streets and surviving. Or, you know, for the people that are in prison that got locked up around the, you know, the early 2000s that are getting out. You know what I mean? Like, it's about to be a mass influx of people coming into this world that have not seen this world in a minute. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You're trying to get yourself together, but all you see are people, you know, that... It's a little bat right there. You heard me? Floating his little ass off. But it's just like, imagine coming back into this world and it's not the same. It's hard. People don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody teaching a class. Hey, man. All right. Nobody's teaching a class on how to deal with society in a way that works for these people. Like me, I'm a vet that speaks for vets. You know what I'm saying? I wish more people who went to prison would start making YouTube videos for people that are going on the route of going to prison and then telling them that it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? That's not my lane to make. I refuse to do anything that can get me in them kind of situations. Some people have been through it, and some people could talk for them, bro. Talk to them people, bro. Do it. I need some women who have been promiscuous, who ain't afraid to get online and say, you know what, I did some horrible things and this is the consequences for my actions. You know what I mean? And if more people would do that, it would make the world a better place. I can only speak for people that are like me, and I'm a very rare breed of person. That's why, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, you can't relate to me, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I've been through enough in life to where if I'm able to say something that changes your mind on your view in life in a negative way to a positive, bro, I'm here for it. I wish more people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish more people would stop being afraid to tell their story and stop letting other people tell it for them and just say it themselves, whether it comes off cool the first time or not, bro. You see how many mistakes I be having in my videos, bro? I be forgetting the damn points of these things in the middle of making these, you know what I'm saying? And all these are shot raw. And if I could do it, you could do it too. I don't care if you're working a dead-end job. Get on here and tell these kids about working a dead-end job and why, you know, the paycheck ain't worth the stress sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a manager and you're, you know, dealing with a bunch of people who hate managers, get on here and tell them how crappy it is on the other side. Being the guy in charge and you know everybody hates you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, man, like, bro, look. Because the way the world is set up now, this is TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised they ain't making people pay for YouTube at this point. You feel me? Like, it's just like, you know, this lane right here is honestly some people's only form of entertainment. Like myself, I don't watch Netflix, none of that. And it's not because I can't, it's just because the way I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't do negativity. I don't do drama. I don't do, you know what I'm saying? I don't get off on somebody getting hurt. I'd rather watch something funny or watch something educational or just, you know what I'm saying, be in my vibe. You heard me? Just be in my vibe, listening to music. And ain't nothing wrong with it. You feel me? Like, some people think it's boring to not have a television, to which I say, if you could imagine the amount of stuff I do in the daytime. And if I would, know what I'm saying, whenever this woman who's tatted on my back meets me, I'ma show her ass like, know what I'm saying, we finna day trip, bro. Everything y'all do at night is oversaturated at night. I like being exclusive, man. You know what it's like to be in the daytime when you watching the sun rise up and you hitting a chick from the back over the balcony of a hotel building? Like, have you done that? I've done that while the sun rises up. Gangster, bro, look. It's a whole nother feeling, know what I'm saying? I'm a day person. Some people work during the day. That's fine, bro, but y'all have days off. And then them days off, I highly suggest when you have time, even if it's 5 minutes, 5 seconds, bro. Know what I'm saying? Ma'am, same thing, especially y'all women, because y'all are emotional and overstressed, bro. Like, y'all really are, and y'all deal with it the wrong way. But take some time and figure out what works for you. What is the best way for you to deal with your issues? Know what I'm saying? Write it on a piece of paper. Look at that piece of paper. Tell that piece of paper you're going to try to accomplish at least one of these things every chance you get. And from there, you build up self-esteem, confidence, everything you need to deal with life, because nobody's teaching y'all how to be adults. Everybody's teaching you how to be children. You get what I'm saying? All these people get money spending recklessly and wild. Nobody's teaching how to financially save up for the struggle times. I'm still in the struggle times. My check still ain't hit. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. I got enough money to save up and celebrate small. Like, this is celebrating for me. Getting a pub sub at Publix is celebration to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how humble I am with life. You feel me? But for some people who aren't like me, who just spend recklessly, and it gets real. Bro, at some point, it gets real. Every month, you know how much you make to an extent. Budget. What's wrong with that? Like, y'all really act like adulting is so ugly when it's just like, if we had more adults out here acting like they're actually, you know, adults, as opposed to trying to relive their childhood, bruh, it's cool. You feel me? You ain't gotta be goddamn Scarface, or, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, it's cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a regular grown adult, dog. Like, y'all really be out here overstressed and putting yourselves in situations based off of your emotions. Deal with them things, cuz they're not going nowhere, bro. Nobody makes it out of this thing alive. You feel me? Like, that's the point. And I keep telling you, you'll be prepped for the afterlife based on how you're living. You get what I'm saying? Like, I look, man, the way I operate, bro, you finna see me get old and gray with dreads down to my ankles. You feel me? Like, in due time, know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be because I operate different. I don't care about what people care about, because at the end of the day, nobody's paying my bills but me. You get what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. If you're not paying my bills and you're not speaking something to uplift me, hey, all that negativity, keep it to you. You heard me? And it's not that hard. You don't need friends. Friends are nice. Friends are not even, like, the word friends, like people that are like truly for you. I'll say that. Because I don't say, a lot of people don't like the word friend because so many people have ruined the definition of that word. Does that make sense? You get what I mean? Like, when you find yourself around somebody that's truly for you, I'll say that. That's my version of friend. Somebody that's truly for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an uplift. It's a compliment to life. You feel me? Most people, know what I'm saying, the way I view it, I plan on finding that in my soulship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that relationship garbage. I'm redefining everything, because the definitions of things have been so oversaturated and, you know, oversaturated and what's the word, bro? Come on. Diluted. You know what I'm saying? Oversaturated and diluted to the point that the definitions no longer fit in today's society. Friend means snake now. You get what I'm saying? Like, girlfriend means automatic cheater. Know what I'm saying? Boyfriend, automatic cheater. The way they got these things set up, husband means simp. Know what I'm saying? A wife means pick me, or she was, know what I'm saying, she settled. Like, settling now means that pretty much, you know, we settled down. That means y'all both gave up, and it's just like, it is what it is. Y'all quit. You heard me? Like, everything has a negative context now, and more people like me are just like, bro, if all of y'all, you just can't tattoo, or actually you can, because a lot of y'all are doing that now. Like, you're just tattooing your emotions on your faces, and it's just like, bro, like, it's not even that serious. You heard me? If more of y'all would just sit back, look at life, and understand, yo, there are people out here that have it way worse than you, that are still doing their damnedest to wake up in the morning and enjoy it. Why aren't you? You feel me? There's no excuse for anything. If you have a dream, live it. Bruh, look, I'm making music. I always wanted to be a big music artist, but the universal joke with that is that, you know, as we grew up, we saw the whole thing as fake. And it's just like, what's the point? I can't, you know what I'm saying? If I can't even listen to music from people that I believe ain't telling the truth, Imagine me being in that industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how Pimp C felt. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to the greatness. You heard me? And it's just like, you know, but in me doing this and me not giving up on making music, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I make music for me and y'all, and we could both sit back and kick it and vibe. It's like I'm doing a mini concert every time I get somebody on my thing rocking with me. And in turn, I feel good because I'm able to release stress through my words. And also, I know it's somebody that's sitting back, like really vibing out to my joints. You feel me? I know, you know, for the people that have gotten my books, because the prices have officially gone up, you feel me, on all of my books, you know what I'm saying? I know there's some people that have read my books that are like touched by it, like, damn, like dog really went through some things. And instead of him giving up where most people would have gave up, he keeps pushing. You feel me? It's just like, I know based off of my life, and I'm not saying this to brag, but let's just speak facts. Nobody thought I'd be here right now. Nobody, not even myself. I told you, I didn't see me living past 19, I'm 31. You feel me? I had to redefine my life in order to continue to want to live it. I've had my heart broken more times than I care to explain. Does that mean I gave up on love? No, because I didn't know what love was. Now that I know what love is, I know what it has to find me. You get what I'm saying? I'm not giving up. I'm not settling, because every day that I'm alive and I'm awake and I'm able to remember, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to enjoy it. That's how you beat mental, like, that's how you beat memory problems. If I'm constantly forgetting all the bad in my life, it's because I've lived a bad life. You get what I'm saying? I'm constantly not remembering things. It's something about that situation that's causing me to relieve or relive a moment that just like really stressed me the hell out. You feel me? And in order for me, if I always remember the good times, if I always remember to come to places like this when I get uberly stressed, guess what? These places remind me of good times. And I finally have a video now with me on some of my good times for the days that I forget. I can look back here and be like, oh yeah, Monster Island, it's time to make a trip, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the beauty in life. When you learn how to see the beauty in life, life is amazing, magical, stupendous, you know what I'm saying? When you make it that way, it is also hellacious, pusillanimous, you know, destructive, chaotic. When you make it that way, the key thing is you make it that way. So whatever you want to do at the end of the day is what you want to do, but do not sit here and complain because of the consequences, which is why you need to take your time and figure this out. You feel me? Figure it out. It's not that hard. Love life if you want to love life. If not, stay out the way for people that do. Everybody's stressed. Everybody has bills. Everybody has a job that they feel like they could be doing better at. Like, know what I'm saying? That's why I say shouts out to, know what I'm saying, the Haitian community. These are some of the realest people I ever met in my life, bro. Know what I'm saying? Like Dog said, everybody's a bitch to somebody. That means like the person you're afraid of has a person they're afraid of. Like, it's just life, bro. It's just life. Know what I'm saying? Everybody feels like they could be doing better in their eyes. And it's just like, everybody feels like they could be this, that, and the third, but when you feel like that, just do it. Even if it don't turn out right, even if it don't happen the way you want it, because that's the joke in itself. When people don't understand, know what I'm saying? Like I said, with me and the music thing, I wanted to be a music artist so bad. But the thing is, because it didn't happen in the way I wanted it to happen, it happened in the way I needed it to happen, and now I enjoy making songs. You know how many raw artists out here? Especially in Jacksonville, how many raw beat makers out here? And I'm talking about us old school cats, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, there's a generation before us that got everything, and then a generation under us got everything. It's like they skipped us, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of us didn't make it. A lot of us didn't make it, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of us are mad rappers, you feel me? Like me, I don't even rap no more, because rappers nowadays are associated with just like flaw stuff. I'm a vibe artist. It's my own genre. I have my own genre of music, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't give up, man. I know so many talented rappers, whatever you want to call it, that if they would just start making music again, that buzzer hit so quick, because they're that good. Men and women, that good. Singers, same deal. You know how, man, that's even worse with singers. Some people don't even sing no more because it just brings back so many bad memories. Hell, I can't sing. I can harmonize, you know what I'm saying? And every artist that I wanted to do music with like it's died, you know what I'm saying? Like I always wanted a song with Nate Dogg. He gone, so I can do the best I can with my voice to make it happen, and that's what works for me. But it's just like I didn't give up on my dream, even when I felt like giving up on my dreams. You feel me? Like, a broken dream is one of the worst things a person can feel, and nobody knows how to like really explain that part, bro. A broken dream breaks people, and it's just like, just because it didn't happen the way you wanted it to, if you would have stuck it out, if you would have just said, and even then, know what I'm saying, it's like, it's not, if you're alive, it ain't over. You feel me? If you want to change something about how you do it now, if you always want to open up a restaurant, bro, start taking pictures of, or ma'am, because y'all, a lot of y'all can't cook, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? But for the females that can, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, open up, just start showing what you're cooking on your Facebook or your IG, and then start giving out plates to people for free. And if it hits off, it'll hit off. Just don't give up. It's that easy. You know what I'm saying? Just don't give up. Keep going, even when it looks terrible. You feel me? Like, man, it's supposed to be raining right now, but instead of it raining, I'm out here shooting a YouTube video. You feel me? So even when it looks terrible, you know, I may not bring the sun every time, but I know what I'm saying, your vibe will change the weather, man. And it's just like, even when it looks terrible, bro, keep going. What's up, doggy? What's going on, bro? You know, even when it looks terrible, just keep trying. You know what I mean? Because it may look that terrible before it looks great. You ever been in a situation like that where like you're riding down a road and it's just storming real bad, and then all of a sudden it's clear? That's how life is, bro. That's how life is. It'll seem real terrible, real traumatic, real chaotic, and it's levels to all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point now where I don't stress about a lot because I've been through a lot. So what I call stress may not be what you call stress, but it'll be like, you know what I'm saying, you'll be at a stress point. And then it's just like, all right, where's the big break at? You feel me? And then finally the big break will come out and you're just like, damn, I'm glad that I picked it back up. I'm glad that I tried again. I'm glad that I did something different. And that's the lesson for the day. So if somebody got something negative to say about you, make sure you tell them to go to 4HF Vibes, get, you know what I'm saying, the article on Super Sane, and instead of you hitting them with that thing for real, nah. Positivity gun. Cha-cha. Love yourself, man. Like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, man. Like yourself. Until all that negativity